Hi, 1986, and Nikon had its F501 out for a year, and it was time for something more automotive, and it came out with a slightly more sophisticated camera, the F501. Now, when you read on Wikipedia, you will see that this is apparently a identical camera apart from autofocusing. Actually, there's a bit more than just autofocusing. Autofocusing was definitely the big step forward. So and on these, the motor is, let me get this right, I think the motor is in the camera. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that, and I'm sure you will. But you have a choice of manual focusing, continuous focusing, or single focusing there. And you also have on the side here, you have a focus lock and an aperture lock. You don't have an aperture lock on the 301, but you do on this. This is a slightly more sophisticated camera. And the other thing about the focusing that I found is when you are in manual, yes, the lens then moves easily, but when you look through the viewfinder, you have a plus and minus, not a plus and minus, you have a little arrow at the bottom, and it goes green when it thinks you are in focus. You can't take a photo until it is green, which I found a bit disconcerting, but you can use that focus lock. The top of the camera, again, is extremely similar to the 301. Apart from the program modes, you've actually got an extra program mode. You've got something called dual, which will decide whether you've got a long lens or a short lens, where in high mode, it's basically will choose the high shutter speed it can for that lens. And then you've got, for some reason, a mid one. So you've got 3 program modes on there. We've got 3 program modes. Aperture, so you just select the aperture and the camera will select a shutter speed. The shutter speed you can see in the viewfinder on the right hand side in red letters. Quite nice to load. To load this camera, you simply pop the film in here, put it to the red button there, red dot, and it will automatically load. Word of warning about these: you might pick one up out of camera there and test to see if it's working, and you might say to the dealer, that shutter doesn't seem to be working, because if you look here, that's not opening. Well, it will not operate until you put a film in. Once you get a film in, it will then operate. So it's just trying to be clever. So have to put in film in for it to operate. It's DX coded, so but you have to set it if that's where it reads off the cassette, the cartridge, what ISO it is, the film is. So you can either put it on DX coding here by twisting that round, or if it hasn't got DX coding, you simply set what type of film it is, 100 ASA for example. It has a motor line, so it's as it's film automatic film advance, but at the end of the film you need to wind the film back. One thing I like about the 301 and the 501 is the fact you've got AA batteries. You've got AAA batteries. But do check before you buy the camera that you've got the adapter in. That is for this is for AAA batteries. If you're going to use AA batteries, you need a deeper bottom, which again you could buy separately, and they are available on eBay, but people seem to ask a bit for them. So do check you've got ability to use batteries. But the fact that you can use AA or AAAs, I think, is a real bonus, because I always find the big 123 batteries a little bit expensive. Those are very standard. So that is basically it. I've enjoyed using this. I've got a Nikon autofocus lens on it. You can use previous lenses, but I find this is the most appropriate lens, and this is the lens that probably would have been provided with the camera. One problem with buying Nikon cameras is people will always sell them now without the lenses, because the lenses are F-mount and so easy to use and to use on other cameras. People are inclined not to sell a lens with a camera, which I think is a bit of a shame, because what use is a camera without a lens? And the lenses do seem to keep up their value a little bit, which is why people are selling the lenses. So, really nice camera to use in the field. You've got a feeling of a little bit of a retro camera, but it is really easy to use. Lenses are good. I enjoyed using this. If you find a 501, have a go with it.